Great. So I think we can move on from this now. You know me very well by now. So imagine the audience, the kind of audience we have today would largely be familiar with what Sun Mobility is, but I'll still spend a couple of minutes on it. So Sun Mobility has been set up as uh, an endeavor between Mining Group and Sun Group. Sun Group being an energy behemoth with global energy resources, and Mani Group, in this instance, led by Mr. Chetan Mani, who's widely accepted and regarded as the godfather of EV in India. He launched Reva early 2000 when nobody was talking about electric vehicles, not even Elon Musk. Uh, he launched Sun Mobility in 2017, and now we are operating around 1,300 swap stations across India, and we're doing around 1.8 million swaps every month. 70,000 vehicles are running on our platform across 23 cities. We also are fortunate enough to have supporters like uh, Indian Oil, Bosch, Vitol, some very heavyweight people in the energy sector. Uh, so, in short, we know what it takes to operate energy infrastructure at scale. I'll just would like to take you through this small video just to show you how swapping works for a two or three wheeler.
A driver simply pulls up to any quick interchange station across a wide network of easily accessible swap points, taps an RFID-enabled key fob on the station and swaps all depleted batteries for fully charged ones in under 2 minutes.
So yeah, that was quick, and that is what we want to be. These good-looking stations are installed all over Delhi, NCR, Bangalore, Hyderabad. In fact, in Delhi, we've got around 650 stations, which is more than all the fuel pumps combined for all the brands over there. Every 1.5 kilometers, you'll find our station over there. And the idea of Sun Mobility is to actually create an infrastructure, an ecosystem. The world is changing for everybody who's been part of the mobility ecosystem. So when you look at, for example, a dealer, uh, he used to earn a lot with the maintenance of the vehicles. Now that reality is going to change. So he has an option to be our franchisee in term, set up this mobility station at his premises, and now he can actually be in touch base with his customers every day rather than what used to be earlier months. We look at the OEMs. OEMs also face a choice in terms of shifting from their traditional model where they had their strengths of marketing, distribution, but now they have to engage in building a network. Where will their two-wheelers, three-wheelers charge? Are they the best people to follow battery technology? How will they deal with obsolescence? How will they keep up with what is the latest in battery technology, and how fast will their scooters uh, sort of become obsolete? We sort of take care for the of that for them, saying that everything related to battery is ours. In fact, your scooters are going to start performing better as we keep improving our battery technology. So don't worry about it. Similarly, for energy players, right now they are selling petrol, diesel. Tomorrow they have to sell electricity. What is the best way to do that? Especially if you consider dense cities. Imagine middle of Mumbai or middle of Bangalore. Would you have a energy station having parking space for 10, 20, 30 vehicles come and charge over there? How will that work? So that is why a solution which is faster than refueling for a vehicle makes so much sense across all these cities. Now let's flip over to the other side. What does it, how does a consumer see it? So right now, the people who are considering even buying a two-wheeler, or we can also extend this to three-wheelers, they basically are grappling with high upfront costs. We take away the battery, the cost goes away almost, to 60% of what it should be. They battle with range anxiety, 2-minute quick swaps. They don't have to worry about it as long as our networks are there. They also worry about what to do with this battery 2 to 3 years down the line. That also is not a problem anymore because I am going to always own the battery. I, being Sun Mobility, is always going to own the battery and keep upgrading it. You don't have to worry about it. Why? And for B2B customers, where downtime is very expensive, considering now that people are used to getting all their deliveries in 10 minutes. Imagine how much revenue they would lose if that scooter is standing for 40 minutes, 1 hour, getting charged. So with these solutions in mind, we are sort of getting a lot of positive traction from the customers. This is just a view of our product. This is what a battery looks like, and the idea over building something like this is playing on interoperability. This same battery goes inside a two-wheeler. If it's a three-wheeler, it'll take two batteries, and that is the idea of building interoperable networks. Otherwise, we'll be sort of lost in a jungle of people trying to build their own standards, own networks, and everybody would be carrying the burden of high capex. We solve that for them. Look at the station. So each station comes with its own HVAC. And the advantage of that is actually very long term, wherein we do not let any sick battery go out in the market. Every battery comes back to us maybe 2 to 3 times a day, and we are able to check all its parameters. And it's like visiting the doctor every day and getting a health checkup and only getting out if you're very, very healthy. And we top it up with a layer of data. All our batteries have SIM cards which transmit data every second, over 100 parameters every second. And that gives us such rich data which nobody else can have in the world. In fact, we've got like close to around 120,000 batteries out in the field. Tomorrow that number will be close to 1 million. Imagine the amount of rich data that we are collecting for modeling of batteries, doing research in battery technology. So how does this all connect to how infrastructure will be seen when it comes to electric mobility? You people think of infrastructure more in terms of power only, but land is actually the most important piece of component that goes into infrastructure. I already told you about what it takes to build all these facilities in the middle of a very, very expensive land in Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, whatever you pick. A swapping station would make a lot of sense over there. Then you look at the grid. Building huge amounts of concentrated charging stations is actually going to be very detrimental to the grid. You'll have to do a lot of upgrades. What we do is we are spreading this load out, and imagine tomorrow we are able to have bidirectional charges and actually supply back to the grid. We would have a generator which would help sort of manage peak load for the discoms in a manner which was never even thought of earlier. Financing is always going to be an important piece because uh, right now, and this is the logic which earlier REITs and InvITs were set up with, to have more and more people participate in infrastructure financing. How can they do that? If all you're building are huge charging stations, a little bit difficult. But with a single station like ours, which is a very small investment for even the sort of local shopkeeper, and we're going smaller there also. We actually unlock a huge amount of financing for infrastructure. Uh, Second Life, recycling, all these projects are going to be very, very benefited from the amount of data that we're collecting. Imagine tomorrow you have to have off-road applications for a battery. It could be a golf course cart, it could be a airport cart, which you must have seen. These have very different requirements from what a two-wheeler or a three-wheeler has. And if you have all the data that gives you how this battery has been used, how this battery has performed over time. Nothing like that in terms of reusing all this. And I've already talked about the ecosystem where we're trying to build something which everybody can participate in, everybody can contribute to the infrastructure. I would like to end with one more video. So we are active in two major fields. One is two and three wheelers, which I've talked about a lot. The second, a slightly uh, early stage bet that we are taking is on the trucks and buses business. Two and three wheelers, because they are the volume drivers of mobility in the country. Close to 20 million vehicles get sold every year in this country, and trucks and buses because they are the major consumers of energy and the major polluters. So they would contribute maybe 5% of the total volume, but 50% of overall emissions. So that is a problem this country needs to definitely solve. So that is why we've chosen these two sectors, and this is something I'm very proud to show you. This we had demonstrated for a bus model. So this swap can be concluded in less than the time that it takes to fill diesel in the bus. And the advantage is that, when you think about building a charging station for a bus, people generally forget about the passengers in the bus. So you can't just build a charging station. You have to build washrooms, you have to build eateries, you have to have space for 10 buses to stand. That's like 10x the space that is required, even on the highways. And here it's just a 2 minute swap. And the second factor, which is really important over here, is uh, the way people have been trying to solve this issue of range in buses and trucks is building bigger and bigger batteries, which means heavier buses, which means less space for cargo and people in the buses. What we are doing is we are flipping the problem at the base, saying that listen, we'll have smaller batteries, we'll have stations, you can have more space for cargo, more space for people, and you don't need to build a whole park around it. So this is our attempt and contribution to mobility. Uh, I am happy to connect with each and every one of you. Please do write to me. I'm always up for a conversation. Thank you.